Good evening and welcome to the show that's so important that The Independent last week asked, have we got news for you, or Casualty, or Brookside, really a worse alternative than cannabis and recreational rubbery? Answers on a postcard. In the news this week, as part of New Labour's education policy, primary school pupils in Barnsley are taught all about the dangers of stereotyping. In the Vatican, a theology student dares to suggest that the orthodox militancy of Catholicism is being diluted with a strain of liberal, non-sectarian pacifism. And at the International Trade Summit, Tony Blair regrets having the prawn vindaloo for lunch. On Ian Hislop's team, a comedian who began his career in the 60s when a new Labour government was rapidly disappointing its former supporters, so we thought we'd give him the chance to give those gags another run out. Graeme Garden. And with Paul Merton tonight, a presenter who has dashed here straight from her job as the Channel 5 newsreader, although she was considerate enough to ring all the viewers personally to say she'd be back tomorrow. Kirsty Young. Round one this week features news, traditionally a problem area for the panellists, Paul and Kirsty. Sky News.
That's a plane.
It's the U-2 bomber, isn't it?
That's Wonder Woman's cremation. and that's the bloke on the right just copying the bloke on the left.
The story then?
Saddam has said he won't let the UN inspection team in to inspect his weaponry, as it were.
Mm. And what is it that they hope to find, the inspectors?
All sorts of nasties. I don't know, because they haven't found them, so I don't know.
No, that's
Nobody told me.
You look very unhappy behind a desk, don't you?
I'm trying to leap over.
Informal style. We should all be out here, shouldn't we? Saddam this week. He's not.
Yes. You probably shocked a lot of people because most people thought that Ian was actually standing up behind that. And who's in support of Iraq? One or two countries have actually.
The French.
Bless them, yes.
Yes.
Yes, but then they have given them 27%, I think, of their weaponry, which is fair enough.
We gave them the rest, did we?
I believe so, yes. This is the minor irritation of the outbreak of World War III. Marshal Cabra, the Iraqi Air Force commander, said this week, "Our heroic eagles are on full alert to confront any aggression or fresh stupidity the American administration may commit against magnificent Iraq." He then broke off saying, "Aye, Yankee planes overhead, run for it." Ian and Graeme.
Tony Blair. Oh, got that one.
Bernie Blair.
Tessa Jow, Health Minister. Husband hiding behind the flowers.
That's a fag.
And that isn't. It's the tobacco story, isn't it? Tobacco advertising. The government have given Formula One racing 10 years to get the paint off their cars, which advertises tobacco.
It's a great spectacle. The Labour Party's principals going, Eccleston is absolutely brilliant, and he gives £1 million to the Labour Party, he gets the decision he wants, and then he gets his money back.
Well, he doesn't get it back because they've spent it.
Oh, they're broke, aren't they?
They're broke, they haven't got it to give back, so they're going to have a whip round.
I'm sure that chap at Harrods would drop a few fivers round. Sympathy for Fired, it's a compassionate audience.
No, they just don't like you, Ian. Who are some of the other celebrity benefactors of the Labour Party? We saw one there.
Celebrity? You?
In the news. Not as far as I'm aware, no.
No, that's giving money, that wouldn't be you. That was Harry Enfield, presumably.
Well spotted, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Jeremy Irons was another. Lord Irons, as I'm sure he's shortly about to be. David Putnam and Creation Records, of course, who are Oasis.
Oh, is that how you get an invite to that party?
Oh.
How did you get an invite?
To what party?
That party at number 10 where they were all brown-nosing about. You know the one.
Well, it was reported that I went, but in fact I never set foot in Downing Street or his house.
Then so there's somebody going around pretending to be you.
Well, it said Nick Parks was the first to arrive, closely followed by Angus Deayton. So they obviously think I'm Gromit.
So I was quite pleased about it. I gave up smoking yesterday, so I'm very pleased about everything. I haven't got any tension running through my body. I'm very relaxed, very, very calm. Shut up!
Good. Yes, it is the row over donation. The row over donations to the Labour Party and the £1 million given by the head of Formula One racing, Bernie Ecclestone.
We've heard all this. Come on, get on with it.
So, last week, Harry Enfield, another Labour benefactor, got drunk at number 10, staggered up to Peter Mandelson and shouted, "You're ghastly, no one likes you, you should go, you're horrible." Then John Prescott pulled him off saying, "Do you mind, there's a queue." Later, Peter Mandelson laughed off the incident, saying he'd forgiven Harry in the light of his tragic climbing accident next week. Paul and Kirsty, a virtually amusing pun for you. Saved by Zabel.
Well, Louise Woodward was saved by Judge Hiller Zobel from serving any more time because he said that the new crime that he'd found her guilty of, which was manslaughter, deserved a sentence of 279 days, and rather conveniently, she'd already served 279 days, so she was free to go.
Freak coincidence that
Amazing.
you've chosen that number, really, isn't it? Of all the ones you could have gone for. Yes. What's his nickname?
His nickname is Ringo. Ringo's the bell.
No, it isn't.
Have you got a cigarette?
It's smoke.
What's he known as now? Hiller, the man who reduces sentences.
Hiller, the rather compassionate when it comes down to it.
Right.
I think he's known as.
The Americans have gone crazy again now, haven't they? Because they've decided they were sort of saying this isn't justice. Then suddenly she gets set free, and then they've gone mad. They say this isn't justice. They're not very, they swing from one extreme to the other. The Americans. I think it's because they're all thick.
I think it might be something to do with having to see completely bonkers British people popping champagne corks when this woman gets let out. Turned into a national heroine. Baby's still dead, that verdict hasn't changed.
No, and...
Comedy?
Very nearly. And who did Louise leave the court with, did you see?
Well, it said she was accompanied by representatives of a British newspaper, which I hope isn't true, because it's sort of illegal. You're not allowed to profit from telling your story. But already the British papers have decided that that doesn't count anymore. The Daily Mail says, yeah, we'll do it. The Sun says, we'll do it. So watch out for that confession.
Watch out for the bid from Private Eye.
No P.
Right, I understand.
Well, good luck with the bid anyway.
Thank you. The tabloids covered Miss Woodward's release in their own inimitable way. The Express had freedom, mercy for Louise. The Mirror said freed, but Louise can't come home. The Sun had free, Louise is out of jail. And the Star had free, giant glossy poster. Louise, currently between school and university, will have to remain in America for the duration of the appeal, although she's desperate to come home as she has to finish an essay entitled What I Did in My Year Off.